we are doing everything that we can to make sure that that we follow the process that's been put forth. That's why we have historic funding to do just that, to make sure that to make sure that the folks that we encounter at the border be removed or expelled. And again, the facts are more individuals encountered at the border will be removed or expelled this year than in any previous year.
That was rough.
Okay, painful. She's just overmatched in that job, but more will be expelled this year.
Because more are coming in.
Exactly. 2 million will cross the border illegally this year. That is an all-time record. That's Joe Biden's America. For more on all that, let's welcome back our Friends reporter for the Daily Caller, Brianna Lyman, former Lieutenant Governor of New York and Newsmax contributor Betsy McCaughey, and Massachusetts gubernatorial candidate Geoff Diehl joining us once again this morning. Geoff, great to have you back on. So 100 migrants arrived outside the vice president's house in Washington, D.C., the Naval Observatory, a day ago. Muriel Bowser in Washington panicked. But now what's happening in Massachusetts is it's hysterical. 40 migrants were shipped to Martha's Vineyard, and a state of emergency was declared on the island. Just to put that into perspective, 8,000 migrants cross the southern border every single day. What do you make of what's happening in the state that you're trying to run?
Yeah, well, I first of all want to thank the people of Martha's Vineyard for stepping up and at least helping those folks right away. It's not a difficult or not an easy situation, obviously, for this island. And but it really points to the failure, again, of the Biden administration. But also in Massachusetts, we have many mayors that call their cities sanctuary status. And that's what's attracting immigrants, not just across the border, but into Massachusetts. And it's a real problem for us economically. And obviously, it's hurting our kids with education. It's causing a housing crisis for us. So, it's a problem that the federal government hasn't been able to address. And with open border policies like Elizabeth Warren, our senator from Massachusetts, when she advocates for that, that's what attracts and creates these crises.
Yeah, absolutely. Betsy, President Biden had this to say. He basically said Republicans are using migrants as props. Take a listen.
With Secretary Mayorkas' leadership, we're committed to fixing the immigration system. Instead of working with us on solutions, Republicans are playing politics with human beings, using them as props. What they're doing is simply wrong. It's un-American. It's reckless. And we have a process in place to manage migrants at the border. We're working to make sure it's safe and orderly and humane.
Betsy, the process is that people are dying in the Rio Grande River. Right. Fentanyl is coming through at record rates. How is this a process when we see what is happening here?
Well, in fact, the Biden administration does have a process to maximize the number of people coming across the border. These are the future Democratic voters of America. That is clearly the plan. Unfortunately, they're making those who come across the border, especially the children, victims. As you pointed out, many are dying. Americans are also victims. And I'd like to ask Geoff Diehl about this because it's the first week of school, and people in Massachusetts and all across the country must be aware that some migrant children are going to end up in the classrooms with your children. And all the attention of that teacher is going to be focused on those truly needy little children who haven't been to school before, who have gone through a grueling trip, who are severely traumatized, who don't speak English, and need all the attention and resources that your school would otherwise be focusing on your children.
No, it's a great point. And that's the problem right now is that our teachers are already trying to catch up for 2 years of the pandemic, that their kids are behind in Massachusetts to begin with. And now you've got to focus extra attention on people who don't even know where they are, literally didn't know where they were in Martha's Vineyard 2 days ago. But also Massachusetts has just passed a law that says that driver's licenses will go to illegal immigrants. So again, they're incentivizing people to come to our state and get the benefits without being a proper immigrated citizen. And that's the real problem. And then again, it causes those problems afterwards, the educational costs, the housing costs.
Geoff, I can sense this just from talking to you now. So you know, Allison and I are both from Massachusetts. I feel like we've said that every day
times.
somehow on Wake Up America the past 2 weeks since the primary up there. But look, this is my parents who live in Massachusetts still aren't thinking about the situation at the southern border. So on the one hand, yeah, you know, I think the Boston Globe says this is terrible. Republicans are using these poor people as pawns. No. On the other hand, look, Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott, who might be your future colleagues as governors, are trying to make a point that desperate times call for desperate measures, and they've been dealing with this for the last 20 months. Has immigration and the border suddenly become part of your race for governor over the next 53 days?
Well, it's always been an underlying problem in Massachusetts. And again, every state becomes a border state when Massachusetts offers all these extra benefits to people who are here illegally. I want to make sure that people become citizens sooner. And that's the real thing that we should be working on, is becoming, naturalizing them faster. Ultimately, though, what's happening now is that the Biden administration clearly has no control over the border itself, but then also the policies that cause them to want to come here. And it makes a dangerous situation for those immigrants when they're trying to get here. The drugs that are being muled with them, it's causing a huge, huge problem in all of our cities in Massachusetts. And that's why this is now finally coming to a head. And I appreciate what the governors are trying to do to send a message to Washington.
Yeah. Brianna, I want to open up the floor to you. If you have a question for Geoff Diehl, running for governor against Maura Healey in the Bay State, the floor is yours.
You know, Geoff, Geoff, first of all, good luck on your race. But more importantly, I mean, you talk about making a path to citizenship, and I think that's something that Republicans have kind of touched on all throughout. I mean, where exactly do you see Massachusetts making a path for citizenship, and how would that kind of, I guess, go across the entire country?
Yeah, you know, over 100 years ago, all the states in the, all United States district courts were allowed to process people. The judges could actually swear them in if they met the criteria, knew the language, had a job, had a sponsor. That went away when the federal government started taking more control over immigration. And now the Department of Immigration and Naturalization, in the joint department, it's funded jointly for Massachusetts, federal and state. It's underfunded. They can only process 1,500 people a year in Massachusetts. That's the core problem. Get those people to be citizens sooner so they're on the books paying taxes. And we lost 50,000 people in Massachusetts last year because of our economy, how tough things are right now. And we could use people in our state. We just need them to come here legally.
Yeah, Geoff, you know, you make a good point about the backlog, because it's not just to naturalize citizens, but even just for people to get their asylum cases heard. I mean, that's why so many people are getting sent throughout the country, because there's such a backlog in the system. And Joe Biden said, we're going to have a plan. That's the key word, going to. They don't have one now. They're hoping to have one. I don't think they're going to have one.
Let's be clear that most of the people who are so-called asylum seekers are not really qualified to be asylum seekers. Well over 90% of them are never granted asylum because they're not coming here legitimately as victims of government terrorism or abuse. They're coming here for a better life, and that's understandable, but they should be doing it legally. Other people are waiting in line to come here legally, and those are the people we should be processing quickly, not the people who come here breaking the law.
And I'll just say, I want to pivot to one fun segment we're going to do to close out the segment here, but this was on the Today Show yesterday, Geoff. Good Morning America covered this yesterday. So the fact that I think Greg Abbott, Ron DeSantis, what they've accomplished is they've gotten this off the cable channels and put it on in front of all the American people. They are now aware of what's going on the southern border. So, you know, we're all talking about it.
It's the messaging.
Again,
yeah.
We're all talking about it.
And Geoff, you mentioned it. We have about 30 seconds left, but you talked about it's a message. And so whether or not you like it and the way it was done, I think that this is putting this story front and center as CNN and MSNBC are finally talking about the border. You think it's obviously a really good PR move for these governors? Yeah.
And by the way, I just want to go back to the history. Our marathon bombers, the Tsarnaev brothers that came to the Massachusetts, they were refugees, as they claimed. They were flying back and forth from their home country, getting radicalized to become terrorists. So we do a very poor job of already vetting those who are trying to come here, who say they're refugees.
That's a really good point.
And now these immigrants make it more dangerous.
Unbelievable. Going to be 10 years this coming marathon since Joe Carr and Tamerlan did that. Unbelievable. Geoff Diehl, good luck to you. Hope to see you again over the next 53 days. Thanks so much for being with us. Betsy, McCaughey, Brianna, Lyman, as always, great stuff. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. September is historically the worst performing month for the stock market, so you better be ready for it. The Fed continues to aggressively raise rates, and JP Morgan is forecasting another mega rate hike September the 21st. Is that why Jamie Dimon said an economic hurricane is coming our way? Well, gold and silver have remained remarkably stable despite the Fed aggressively raising rates today. The Patriot Gold Group has a special incentive for Newsmax viewers. Huge! Now precious metals investors can enjoy the no-fee-for-life gold and silver IRA on qualifying rollovers, or enjoy free, discreet, insured shipping on all direct gold and silver purchases. Here's the number, 800-356-4470. Call 800-356-4470 today.